Morning, it's Wednesday, August the 10th. Double check that. This is like part 2 or 3 of the Philippine boats here in Sabang. Very similar throughout the Philippines as far as I know, what I've seen. That's a little like pump boat, we call it a tourist for the underground river here, and they prop them up on blocks. Keep the bottom from this very rocky little inlet where they get some shelter, but at the same time you have a rough rocky bottom. As you can see there, it's low tide, so when the high tide comes up they'll be floating, but they put a little like piece of wood or bamboo under them to keep them off the rocks so you can see them propped up. So they come in here for safe harbor and everything. So the big ones are the tourist boats with the flags and life jackets. They're working on them down here, so I wanted to show you a little bit more of that. So most of the ones over there were in working order, but down here along the edge, more towards the native village, hopefully nobody objects or anything. So they have lots of different parts. There's a little personal fishing boat. They're usually not motorized. You paddle with them or to get around. They're quite efficient because they're so small in the shape of them, as the big boats are. So that one out there, the white and red one, is really quite large. You can hear them pounding on it, so we'll take you down there and see if anybody objects of showing off their boat building skills. Lots of locals coming along, bike riding, and kids going to school, people walking to work and get supplies and everything. So here's some boats in various stages. That's like I'm not sure what is, a primer paint on it. Here comes somebody on their car. This is like the main part of the native village here. So that's like a primer on there, so they do that, and then they're sand that and paint it, and that boat's in some state of repair, so it's quite interesting. It's wooden, all pretty much wood, and it's framed out. Trying to figure out which end is what. I think that's the motor end up here, maybe back here. It's hard to tell. But that one's in that state of repair. This one's flipped over and being worked on, used as props. They got some painted rails they're painting, which will probably be for the tourists. The big floaters, stabilizers. They're 5-6 inches around. As you can see, that one's painted. So it's quite beautiful, the artwork and the way they make them and the skill they have. A lot of this is, I did see them use a little bit of tape like on that red line, but a lot of it's hand done. Very artistic. Morning.
Morning.
See, there's more of the different stabilizers. Sometimes they paint them red. Usually it's white or blue or something. White arms with blue, very popular. So very beautiful. That's a tourist boat. It says passenger only, tells the family. Number 86 of, I think there's like 89 total. So that one's being repainted and all dolled up. Then it'll be they're relatively light, so maybe 6-8 guys will carry that down to the water and launch it. Be a little easier. So that's how big I'll put my hand on it. So you can see it's about as big as your hand. I'd say that's 6-7 inches thick. Here's one that's been opened up, and it's a skeleton, so you can kind of see the framework, and then they're nailed a marine board on the side or something. Maybe a little glue and nail. But it's quite interesting how they make them. So that's one there. It's a little smaller one, but they're all made very similar. There's guys working on it. So this is like the shipyard where they repair their boats and refurbish and sometimes build new ones. He's macheting and shaping the arms there on that. I've seen him take like a blowtorch or something and heat the arms up, and then I think they soak them in water to bend them. But that's a beautiful boat. I've complimented them many times on their quality and craftsmanship. Look how that arcs out for the waves. When the wave comes up, it shoots the wave off, back off the boat. That shape on the sides like a seawall. Very beautiful. I'm told with a motor and everything said and done, they sell these for about 150,000 peso, which is about $3,000 or $4,000. So quite beautiful. This one's really neat. You can see the raw woodwork there, and all the time carving that out and shaping that with sandpaper and bow machetes, and the craftsmanship, very good. Very beautiful. They got that like little primer that framed off there. And eventually it's going to look like this one here on the right. Sorry for the sign work. So let's see if there's anything else down here to show you. And there's some seats, extra seats. So there are more people down there, so we won't hide. Good morning. Some of the kids, we're trying to stick to the boats and stuff, so that's just different stages. This one's a little more further along. This one's about maybe a quarter, half the way done, but them arms help stabilize the boat, and they're meant, like I said in the last one, they remind me of Star Wars. And there's various boat parts on the left and right. Extra supplies, kids, people going to work. There's some racks for different parts, stabilizers and arms, spare parts or extras they've taken off or put on. But that's an interesting one because it really shows how it opens up. They have a little hole in the back for the propeller shaft, and like I said, they kind of prefer, if they can afford it, they like the Japanese Kawasaki Honda motors, that type of motor over the Chinese motors. Not to knock the Chinese, but that's what I'm told. And that's what I found back in America in my landscaping business, that the Kawasaki's and Hondas and that type of motor was much more superior and longer lasting, more durable and dependable. Also more expensive. So, but most people even here feel like if they can at all afford it, it's worth the extra cost. But like I said, a big boat like that we're looking at would be about 150,000 complete, motor built, looking like that. So that's the cost, which I said once again, 3,000 or 4,000 peso. Here's some old stabilizers and a bench seat for the passengers, and some arms they're building. So they're got them tensioned under, looks like some native vines or something, or bamboo. But they'll keep them under to get the shape memorized, and then they carve them and heat them up and soak them in water, different steps. There's a little ladder to get the passengers up there and on there, and the awnings are from the hot sun and the occasional rain showers you may get, mostly hot sun. So yeah, this is like the little shipyard where they build and maintain their boats here, and they do a little bit down there, but this is the busiest, so I thought I'd show you that. All right, that's it from part 2 or 3 of the Philippine boat. More of the construction end of it. So without the motor, I don't get an opportunity to look in very much, but quite beautiful. All wood construction, quite seaworthy, and I've ridden them out in the middle of the ocean and had 6-8 foot wakes and waves going on and survived. So just beautiful craftsmanship, all mostly hand done. I mean, they do use machines, but everything's very labor and hands-on. Show you this little not propeller, but rudder there. So it's real simple, a piece of metal, very thin, and then they pull a lever and it will rotate back and forth. That's the motor shaft where it comes out. And they epoxy it or glue around that to keep it watertight, and then it'll spin. The shaft will spin inside that hole there. So you can see how narrow the hull is. Now a bigger boat will be a little bit bigger, but not a lot. So that's the bottom of it, and I guess you call that the hull. So very narrow, cut through the water. The narrower that is, the faster it is, and also the less stable, but they've solved that issue with the big like pontoons out to the side rudders. So that's the purpose of that, because their boats are made to go through the water very efficiently and fast, and because of the shape and hundreds and thousands of years of design, and they know what they're doing. So that's my time. Thanks for watching. Got any questions or comments or something you want to add, feel free to jump in there and chime in. I'm just sharing what I see and think I know. So again, more parts here, some bench seats and stabilizers and arms they're shaping. So all right, that's my time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. That's it from Terry's Philippine Journey. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leaving here from Sabang, Palawan, Philippines, home of the underground river. Thanks for watching.